Alright, hello everyone, I am Sage and welcome to the first video to this channel that I think is not any kind of music video related to anime or video games, but this is gonna be something absolutely new, and the first video is gonna be about Pokemon SoulSilver and the challenges that can I beat it with only one Totodile. So you know there are many kind of these challenges in the YouTube, and because of that I got also inspired to do one of these challenges, and I did this challenge to my Finnish YouTube channel as a multiple part type of thing, but I decided that I could also kind of summarize this challenge to this channel as well, so you can see that how this challenge went for me and how long did I get there with this challenge. So that is kind of the thing that I was doing here. So just now there was the rules for this channel challenge, so I can only use the Totodile for the battles. I need other Pokemons to use the HMs and TMs. And speaking about the TMs and moves, here is the move list for the Totodile. So basically the beginning part of the challenge, we need the water gun for the stab move. Bite is gonna be a good physical attack for the beginning of the challenge, and once we learn the Ice Fang, it's gonna be a good move also to use. Later on we can update the bite to crunch. At the point where we get the Aqua Tail and so on, we also get the waterfall pretty quickly afterwards. Superpower is also a pretty good move since it's a physical side of the things. And here you can see the base stats of the Totodile, so you can see that what we are up against basically, or what is our position. So you can see that Totodile has pretty good attack and defense. And HP is also a little bit higher. Special attacks and defenses and speed are just the weakest stats he has. So basically we're gonna try to make him a physical attacker and see how far we can get with that. But yeah, we're gonna start the challenge real soon with this video, and I just want to mention about the rules that I also originally had the rule not to use the healing items in battle, that only I can use them outside of the battles, and I can only use the held items in the fight. But I actually accidentally screwed that up by using one healing item in one match, so I excluded it out of the rules for this video, because basically I only did it one time, so in actuality I kinda did this with just not using the healing items in battle. But yeah, let's try to actually pick up the pace a little bit and start to move on to the actually interesting parts of the challenge. So first thing first, we are of course gonna pick our Totodile here and start our adventure with it. I was trying to pick up something good nickname, but I'm really bad at them. Only thing I was able to think about with the Totodile is that there is this energy drink called Gatorade, and other popular energy drink in Finland at least is called Ed, so I just named him Ed, and that's the story with that. I'm gonna be trying to skipping a lot about the story parts away and just trying to focus on the challenge to keep this video short, so just it doesn't drag on too long. So we're just gonna start skipping ahead and see how we're gonna start to progress with the challenge. So the beginning part of the game, it really is not that hard. So basically we just grind against the wild Pokemons to get some levels for Totodile. We do this running back and forth for the story wise. And the first thing actually interesting might be this rival fight, or just to present the rival, because there will be multiple rival battles in fights. In the game, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how his team is gonna build up along as we progress the game. He's of course gonna have the Pokemon that is super effective against us, so that would be the Chikorita. At this point he didn't know any super effective attacks though, so we just was able to kill that dude really fast, because we already had grinded a couple of levels. And then there's just gonna be more random story parts, so I'm gonna be skipping ahead more towards to the first town where the first gym is located. After some adventuring through the routes and the Sprout Tower, we have arrived to the first gym, fought off these trainers, so let's just face off with the first actual challenge part of this run, the Falkner gym leader. He has two Pokemons, he has the Pidgey and the Pidgeot, which has evolved even though it's not at the level that it should be evolved yet, so I guess Falkling is cheating or something like that. Pidgey itself was a one-shot because we have already grinded so many levels to the Totodile itself, the Sprout Tower, and I guess there was some rival fights also there. Have granted us so many levels that those weaker kind of Pokemons are gonna be one-shots at this point. Pidgeotto is a little bit stronger one though because it's already level 13. It has the roost ability to spam the healing, so that's a little bit annoying. But I'm just gonna keep spamming Bite at this moment, you know, for the flinch hacks, kinda hoping that to happen. So it would be stopping the roosting all the time. I have to say sorry about my English because it's a bit rusty. I haven't used it in a long while. I guess that's also a good exercise for me to do these videos to kind of train back my English skills a little bit better. But after a little while we get the Pidgeotto defeated and the first gym badge is ours for this challenge. Also the Team Rocket is making comeback in this game after the first generation, but you know, they're not much of a challenge in this game because Totodile is just gaining levels after levels, so they're just not gonna be able to keep up to impose any actual threat. I guess there were a couple of fights that were a little bit challenging with them, but most of the time I'm just gonna be skipping these guys because there was just nothing interesting happening with them. So here we got the Bugsy, the bug type gym leader, and she has her 3 Pokemon, and the Skyder is, you know, the threatening one in this fight. We are already at level 22, so we have already learned the Ice Fang, which is good against the Skyder because it's super effective attack, so it's gonna help us a lot. Luckily it only used the Focus Energy, then it used the Quick Attack, didn't even get the crit that it was aiming for with the Focus Energy, I think, so Ice Fang was a 2-shot, and that was basically the fight, because now there is only just the Metapod, and the Kakuna, I don't think they even have a tackle, let's see, because I don't actually remember, I think they were just, okay, yeah, it was not just the hard and spam, they actually even has the tackle, but since these Pokemons are so weak, it's just basically free EXP, and we can move on to the next part of the challenge. There was actually this one rival fight that I forgot. Also there were a couple of previous ones too, but this one actually, you know, shows up a little bit that what he has been up to with his team update, so I just wanna see that what's the situation. Well, the Ghastly itself is a one-shot with the bite, so no any problems there. He has already evolved the Chikorita to Bayleaf. We all luckily have the Ice Fang. The Ice Fang is actually really MVP move in this run because it can attack the grass types super effectively, which are super effective against us, so we have something to counter them with, so it helps out a lot with those. And the last Pokemon he has is Zubat, so at this point rival is at least not yet imposing any challenge for us, so let's just move on and see what the third gym has in store for us. So the third gym is the normal type gym and the leader is Whitney, and this is the one and only fight where I actually accidentally used the healing item in my original run, so that's why it must be excluded out of the rules, because here I accidentally kinda used it. But anyway, let's see the fight. So this is actually a little bit more difficult fight compared to the other gym leaders because of the Miltank. It's a high level and really strong Pokemon. The Clefairy itself is a one-shot, its double slap still does a lot of damage to the Totodile, but we were still able to defeat it. But yeah, this is kind of the first part where it starts to show a little bit that we definitely don't have the evolved Pokemon, because the Miltank is kind of a beast here. We still have a good level difference, which helps out a lot, but the Stomp still does really much damage. Also, it has the flinch possibility, as you can see, so. And also the Attract, which is really annoying, because we might not hit every turn. So yeah, I basically just got really annoyed with the Miltank, so I just kind of forgot that I had the rule not to use the healing items. Barogan does a really good damage on the torrent range. Anyway, in time the Miltank was defeated and we got the third badge. So the fourth gym is the Ghost type gym and the leader is Morty. And here we also start to have more troubles with the fight itself. We weren't actually able to even defeat Morty at the first time. So let's see the actually successful try here. So I crunched the Ghastly, it was a one-shot, no problem. The biggest problem is the Haunters and the Gengar, because they are faster than me, even though I am a much more higher level than they are. The crunch is basically the strongest thing I have available here. Thank God this Gengar only decided to use the mean look here, so basically wasted its turn. It got the defense well from the drop, so that matters a little bit in case it heals up. Most probably I can one-shot it in the next turn, but it decided to just use the Sucker Punch, so one more crunch is enough to take it down. So that leaves 2 Haunters left here. They are also faster than me, so that's a little bit problematic because they might have those Hypnosis Dream Eater combinations that can ruin the game or ruin the match. The first hunter decided to just use the Curse, which is fine by me. That means I can 100% surely one-shot it with the crunch, and we get that defeated. So that leaves 1 more hunter left, and let's see what it's up to this time. The first round basically ended with the Hypnosis Dream Eater shenanigans, so I was just hoping that wouldn't happen again, so I could just get done with the challenge. So it decided to use the Nightshade, which does the exact damage of the level, so 23 level means 23 damage. This hunter was a one-shot, so we got the 4th patch done and we can move on. So the next part of the challenge is the fighting gym, and the leader is Chuck. This one was a really tough one. I had to do a shitload of grinding to get this one done. I had to grind it all the way to 40 because I was just not able to do it in the lower levels. The Primeape itself, we got lucky with the freeze hacks, so we just spammed the Ice Fang out of it. This guy only has 2 Pokemon, but the Poliwrath is mainly the problematic one because it's a water type, so many of my attacks are not very effective. I learned the Slash for the Ed, which is basically my main attack to go for this fight. Luckily, it's most of the times it's trying to spam the Focus Punch, so we are getting free hits like that. The Body Slam does a lot of damage, but that's why I grinded to level 40, so I can just withstand some attacks and actually be able to do at least some damage. Slash has a chance for critical hits, so that's also what I'm hoping for. But I didn't get it just yet. Poliwrath keeps healing, or the Chuck keeps healing with the Hyper Potion, so it was a lot of grind. I got the first crit here with the Slash, and then I attacked again with the Slash. He was not able to take it down with the second Slash either, so we are still getting this kind of back and forth fight here with the Chuck using the Hyper Potions. But the Slash is still pretty much the best thing to attack, and luckily Poliwrath is again trying to spam the Focus Punch, which gives us a fighting chance, and keeps missing, of course, because we are doing damage. So finally, after a while, we are able to defeat that one. That was a really tough one because grinding was a bit tedious with the low-level Pokemons, but we were able to get this. I think this was already the 5th badge. Next one is straight the Steel-type gym, and I had to do a little bit grinding for this one as well. I need to get Totodile to 33 to learn the Aqua Tail and the Superpower, so I can just one-shot the Magnemite, so it doesn't attack with Thunderbolt, because when I was lower level, the Thunderbolt one-shotted the Totodile. So I needed an attack that was one shot, so I was aiming for the Superpower, but the Aqua Tail is actually also strong enough to defeat those. And once there is only the 1 Steelix left, 35 level, it just whipped up a Sandstorm, so it didn't actually do any direct damage to us, so the next Aqua Tail is enough to take that one out. And that's already the 6th batch for us. And the next thing is the 7th batch, the Ice type gym challenge. There was some Team Rocket shenanigans between, but again they were not imposing any threats, so let's move on to the prize itself here. So yeah, it's an Ice type challenge. He has 3 Pokemon. He starts off with the Seal, level 30, so it's a pure water type at this point. So I'm just gonna start crunching away because I think the only super effective against Ice types is the Superpower, but since the Seal is just a pure water type, there's no point of using that. It's a bit risky move because it's lower my stats when I use the Superpower. So we got Seal to the red health, and then it just used the Hyper Potion. Basically, I'm just gonna keep spamming on the crunch, hoping for the strong hits, and then I got it. and the seal is down. So the next one I think is it's the Pillows one, yeah. So it's partly ground type, so that means water attacks are super effective. So I'm just gonna hit with the Aqua Tail. I'm gonna miss because it only has 90 accuracy for some reason. So it got some damage to us. Then we're just gonna Aqua Tail again and hope that it will be enough. And it is enough for the one shot. And the last Pokemon I think is Dugong for the final challenge, and it's level 32. So it's actually a little bit weaker levels than on the previous gym, which is kind of weird in this second generation of Pokemon games. Crunch does a good amount of damage, so it looks like to be 2-hit KO if just, you know, nothing goes wrong. I decided to just in case to play for sure and use the superpower to make sure that it will be enough. And then we have the 7th gym, and it's time to move on to the last gym challenge of the Johto region. I don't know how you say it in English, but anyway. I hate this freaking Gurudos so much. So yeah, the clear's first Pokemon is a bit of a brick wall, which means I need to do a really long grinding session down here on this route, because I think this is where the strongest Pokemon can be found at this point of the game. Or I'm not sure, but this is just what I decided to do for the grinding. And also fight any remaining trainer matches there might be left. Alright, let's go and see if we can finally do this or not. So, the first Pokemon is the Gurudos level 38, and it's a problematic one. We grinded Totodile to level 62, but the Gurudos has the Intimidate that lowers our attack right off the bat, so we're gonna do this whole fight with the minus attack. We got the critical hit with the Ice Fang on the beginning. That's the exactly kind of luck we're gonna need if we wanna win this fight. So the Gurudos is already out of the game, which is really important thing, because the Dragon Rage shenanigans are annoying because they do the fixed damage. So it's gonna be a problem if we can't one-shot the Gurudos. The Dragonair also was the one-shot because the Ice Fang is a super effective attack against the Dragons. This is also why the Ice Fang is one of the important moves. I'm holding the Never Melt Ice at this point with the Totodile to boost up the power of the Ice Fang even further. So that is the combination I'm using as now as the held item. So the Dragonite were no problem. The actual problem now, besides the Gurudos, is the Kingdra here. I got nothing super effective against it. I just need to use kind of the Crunch Ice Fang combination. Crunch, you know, can get the defense spell. Ice Fang can do flinch or freeze hacks, so it also has a good chance to get some kind of status condition there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All we can do is kind of hope that it doesn't kill us before we kill it. We got the flinch there, and then I just superpowered because it's basically my strongest attack, and that was enough to defeat the Kingdra. That was kind of a in-game decision I just made, because I realized, wait, I can't defeat it with the Crunch or Ice Fang, so superpower was enough, thank God. So after that we just kind of did the rest of the story things, got defeated Lugia and so on. And here at the end of the Victory Road we will face the final rival challenge. So let's see what this guy's been up to. He has the full team at this moment, so let's see what we're up against. He's gonna start with the level 36 Sneasel. I don't dare use the superpower against it, so at the moment we already got the Waterfall as a better accuracy move to replace the Aqua Tail, so we're gonna one-shot Sneasel with that. Then we're gonna use the Ice Fang against the level 40 Meganium, so looks to be pretty strong at this point. It barely lives, but we got the freeze hacks. Most probably he will just maybe use the Solar Beam, so in that case the freeze didn't matter. Then there's gonna be a Magnetron, level 37, and it's just a one-shot with the Waterfall. We are already level 66 at this point, so we are pretty good shape when we are going to the Elite Four. Then there's the level 37 Haunter, so you know Crunch is the way to go with this one. Surprisingly, well, I don't know if it's surprising since we are 30 level higher, but we were able to outspeed the Haunter as well at this point. So then there's the Cadapra, also a pretty fast Pokemon, it's level 37. We were able to outspeed that one too, and the Crunch is gonna be the one-shot. So yeah, the rival itself didn't end up being too big of a challenge in this run. Might be different if I had used a completely different Pokemon. The last Pokemon is the Golbat, so Ice Fang is the way to go here. I still am holding the Never Melt Ice. That is basically the held item that I was relying on most of the run after I just received it. Of course, you just only get it right before the last gym, but you know, for these final fights and the Kanto region, it's a pretty good held item. Alright, so without further ado, it's time for the Elite Four. So let's just... I can't speak today at all. Let's just jump straight into the business. So it's gonna be the Will, the first of the Elite Four member against that, and he's a Psychic Pokemon user. And he's gonna start off with the Zatu level 40, and we're gonna jump on with our level 69 Totodile right here. And Never Melt Ice Fang combination is the thing we're gonna use for Zatu here, and it's gonna be a one-shot, so things start off pretty good. The next Pokemon is gonna summon or call is the Jinx, level 41. Crunch is I guess the main attack here we're gonna be using most of this fight. So Jinx was also one shot, so it looks like Totodile is at the pretty good levels for this Elite Four fights. The next one is Executor level 41, so Ice Fang is gonna be the one, because we're gonna try to kind of balance out the PP usage, since we don't have any we don't have many PP restoring items. Sorry about the coughing. We got the freeze, but of course Will is gonna use the full restore because we got him to the red health. We're just gonna be trying to see how much Crunch does the damage, and it actually is a one shot. So it looks like that even though the Ice Fang is boosted with the Never Melt Ice, the Crunch is still a little bit stronger attack. The Ice Fang has a weaker base attack, so I guess the Never Melt Ice doesn't boost that much if the Crunch still looks to be a stronger option. Then there's gonna be the Slow Bro level 41. Well, naturally we're gonna outspeed it, but it has a little bit stronger defenses than the other one. So let's see how much does the Crunch do us. Yeah, it's not quite the one shot, so, but it just wasted its turn basically for the full restore. It doesn't basically matter because even though Will would have healed the Slow Bro to full health, the Crunch most probably would have still been the two shot as it was now, so not much of a change there. Will has one more Zatu after that, so we're just gonna Ice Fang that into the Oblivion, and I guess that was the first Elite Four member done, so that actually went pretty well. I think we can just move on straight to the next one. And the next one is the Koga, the previous gym leader from the first generation. I guess he kinda got promoted or something, since now he's on the Elite Four as a poison type member. So he too has some strong Pokemons, but let's see how is it gonna go, since you know the previous one was pretty much a one-shot party, so let's see if he can propose any more threat. Ariados itself was a one-shot, so it's a pretty weak bug type, so I guess you could expect that to happen. Fortress is a little bit more defensive Pokemon, it's level 43. It's just gonna waterfall that too. I got the flinch. I don't know if Fortress has any strong attacks that would have affected the outcome anyhow, so I don't know if the flinch mattered, but 2 waterfalls is enough to take that one out. And afterwards there is gonna be a Muk. Muk is, I guess, maybe the most problematic Pokemon from the Koga's team. I guess, if I remember correctly, there's Crobat too, which is a speed monster, but you know, Muk, if it attacks, it can hit hard. But they decided not to do anything anything useful here, so it's just a two-shot with the... I guess I was just Crunch spamming at this point, or using the waterfall too. The Crobat starts trying to use double team, which would have been problematic if we would start missing, but the Ice Fang hits. Luckily it lives like with 1 HP or something like that, so we just need to attack again. Decided just to use wing attack, so no any confused range shenanigans or like that. We missed the attack, which is unfortunate, but the next Crunch is gonna be able to defeat this bad Pokemon out of this world. So yeah, the last Pokemon left is the Venomoth, and it's the level 41. It's also on the weaker side of the Pokemon this guy has, so we're just gonna be waterfalling, and I think it's gonna be enough for the one shot like so. And that is the second member of the Elite Four defeated, and we are now able to move on to the next one, which also is a familiar face from the first generation. So it's the Bruno, still here as the Elite Four member, and he has basically fighting type, but he has those couple of Onyxes there that we can pretty much one-shot with the waterfall. but the main problem are the fighting types here. So we're gonna start off with the Hitmontop. It's a level 42. Basically, we're just gonna be seeing what we can do with the Ice Fang Grunt shenanigans to get, because Hitmontop is from the 3 Hitmon Pokemon is the defensive monster basically, so it can survive our attacks. And the counter does really much damage, so we are in a bit of a problematic situation here. But we got the Hitmontop defeated, so let's see. We are still outspeeding the Hitmonchan, which is a good thing because we got one-shot it. We got the crit, I don't know if it mattered or not. Most probably it did. And then the next one is gonna be Hitmonlee. So he has all these 3 guys here. And we're just gonna waterfall Hitmonlee as well. And this was also one-shot. This time no critical hit, but I'm not sure if Hitmonlee has a little bit weaker defense than the Hitmonchan, so Hitmonchan, I don't know how to say it. Machamp is the problematic one because I think it can have the access to the Thunder Punch. I don't know if this Machamp has it or not. Waterfall surprisingly I wasn't expecting it to be one-shot, but it still was the one-shot. I guess that's because the Totodile is in the Torrent range at the moment. I don't know if we would have been with the higher HP and the Torrent wouldn't be active. I don't know if it would have been a one-shot. Onix, of course, is a one-shot and it's also slow Pokemon, so there's just no problem knocking out the Onix. And I guess there was no any more Pokemon left, yeah, so the Bruno is defeated and we will move on to the next challenge. And this is gonna be Karen for the Dark-type user. Let's see what he has. It's actually pretty silly because he's a Dark-type user, but he doesn't even have, like, only a couple of the Pokemon are actually Dark-types. The Umbreon here is the first Dark-type, so it's I think the most defensive Pokemon she has, sorry. So we're just gonna waterfall it to see how much does it do, and it does a good amount of damage. It didn't start to do any extra shenanigans with the Confuse Rays or anything like that, so we are just gonna deal with the waterfall. The Feint Attack didn't do too much of a damage. The Vileplume is here. I guess it has the dark coloring, so it's here because of that. I really don't know. But the Ice Fang is enough for the one-shot, so no need to be afraid of the grass type attacks or something like that. Then there's the Gengar, which is a ghost type, so we're gonna be crunching it. It uses the Focus Blast and is able to hit us even though it has a weak accuracy, so it does a little bit of damage. Not too much though, I think we are still in a good shape. And the Gengar itself is good riddance, so to say. Then we have the Hound Doom. It's actually the dark type, but also fire type, so it just used the Nasty Plot. We're gonna waterfall, and I think it was a one-shot, even though it's already 47 level. So it's start to rack up a little bit these levels for the enemies. Murkrow is also a dark type, so let's see if the Ice Fang is enough for the one-shot. I think it's gonna be enough because, you know, Murkrow is just a pretty weak Pokemon at this point of the game. So, now we already have actually all 4 of the members, and it's time for the League Champion, which in this generation is the Dragon user Lance. He has pretty much the same situation that all of his Pokemon are not actually the Dragon type, as with the Claire too, but he actually has the Dragonites and so on, so it might be a little bit problematic. Let's see. We do have the Ice Fang Never Melt Ice combo. He's gonna be just as annoying as Claire and start straight off with the Gurudos, which minus our attacks straight away, and it's really annoying. But we're just gonna be starting to try to get the Gurudos down as soon as possible. Basically, we only just the Ice Fang and the Grunts as the combinations. But I was just spamming the Ice Fang for the freeze hacks, which I got. And then I'm just gonna straight switch into the Grunts to hope that it would be enough. It thaw out and used the Flail, which does a bit of damage. We were not able to defeat the Gurudos just yet, so it's gonna full restore naturally. I think I just used one more Crunch here. No, actually I started to spam the Ice Fang to try to get the freeze hacks again, which I did. That's like so super lucky. And we're just gonna be crunching away, try to see if we can get defense well. That would help us to defeat the Gurudos with less hits. We got the crit though, so that is enough to defeat the Gurudos. And the next Pokemon is gonna be the Dragonite, level 49, so it's a pretty big level. we're just gonna Ice Fang it, and it actually was the one shot, which I was a little bit surprised, but I guess it's 4 times super effective, so that's the magic there. And he has a couple of these Dragonites here, so there's gonna be the next one. We're gonna Ice Fang as well, hoping to get the one shot as well, since it worked on the last one. And we got the crit. I don't know if there would have been any chance for like min-maxing that it could survive the S-Fang or not. But yeah, let's play it safe than sorry, I guess. Better to get the crit than not to get. The Aerodactyl is fast monster and he has the Thunderfang, so it's gonna do a lot of damage to us. It's gonna Waterfall, hope for it to be one shot so we might survive without any more damage received. At least from this guy, and it was a one shot, so that's done. Now we are facing the next Dragonite. It's level 50, so this one might be a little bit more sturdier compared to the other two. But we got no other choice but to just hope for the best, and the Ice Fang is actually enough to one shot. So we were really happy with that one, of course. So the next one is the Charizard. We have the Waterfall, we are in the Torrent Rage, so situation is good in that case. And I was just scared if I can outspeed or not. Thank God I was able to outspeed. So Charizard defeated, we got the league champion, and basically the challenge is completed in a sense that we defeated the league champion and the Elite Four. So we are getting the credits, and basically the challenge is successful in that case. But of course I tried to also the Kanto gym leaders, and I wanted to try the secret challenge battle with Red. So before we end this video, let's see how did that went. So basically the Kanto gym leaders were not a problem. A couple of them imposed a little bit of challenge, so I had to try a couple of times some of them, but most of them were just one shots. But I was able to use them pretty well to grind levels for the Red battle. I'm just gonna go through a little bit about my adventures in Kanto while the gym battles here are running at sped up version. So basically, after I had defeated all the gym leaders here in Kanto, I was I think around level 80 or so, a little bit over maybe. So I was pretty sure that since the red Pokemon levels are so high, I'm not gonna be able to defeat them just like that. Sorry about the noise, my neighbor decided that it's good time to do some fucking renovations or something. But yeah, so yeah, the levels on the red Pokemon are really high, so I was thinking that I need to grind Totodile to higher levels before I face him. So I decided that I grinded some levels with the Elite Four rematches, and I grinded it a couple of times against them. Also, I was, while I was grinding, I went up there to face the red many times, but I was not able to defeat him in those tries. So in the end, what I ended up doing, I just grinded the Totodile all the way to the level 100, and now is the time I'm gonna show you how it went when I went against the red as a level 100 Totodile. So yeah, as you can see, there is just no way for me to defeat Red even with the level 100 Totodile, because Pikachu is just gonna outspeed and use a Thunderbolt and one-shot the Totodile. I guess if I had a quick claw, I could get lucky and get a hit for the Pikachu, maybe one-shot him with that, but there are still 5 other really strong Pokemon to take on after that, so I decided that the challenge is over for this one. So basically, I was able to defeat the Elite Four and League Champion and get the challenge done with that. So challenge on that part is a success. Challenge failed with the secret challenge with Red, so I guess it's kind of a 50-50 win-lose situation here. But I was still happy with the conclusion. It was my first kind of these challenges where I actually use only one first form Pokemon to try to do challenge. I've done challenges like this, but with like fully evolved Pokemon, or you know, with different kind of rule sets and so on. But this was the first one, and I'm really happy with the outcome. So yeah, this is the end of the video. So thank you all for watching, and leave a like if you like this kind of video on this channel. And if you want to see any other kind of video game challenges regarding Pokemon or something else, you can comment your ideas down below. Let me know. I think I'm gonna keep on doing this kind of video game stuff for this channel in the future, but there are also some other ideas I come up with, which might I upload also. But this is kind of trying to be maybe first one of these new kind of videos that I would like to make this channel. So leave your comments and thoughts about this kind of videos to the comments below. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.